Hello tarot friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Balsamic Moon Tarot. I've been away from this channel for a little bit, just catching up with personal life stuff, but I'm back and I'm excited to do another pick a card reading for you. So we have 3 cards from the Sacred Destiny Oracle deck already selected here, and let me reveal these to you. For pile 1, we have Inner Peace. 2 pretty koi fish there. For pile 2, we have Delight. I love that. There are all these butterflies. Are these butterflies or flowers? Well, the background is really nice too. And for pile 3, we have Abundance. Wow. Awesome. So take a moment to reflect, pause, take a couple deep breaths, clear your head, and select the card that your intuition is telling you is for you. You can skip ahead to the reading. The timestamps are in the description box below. See you there. Hello pile 1, welcome to your reading. I'm getting a energy so far of definitely inner peace here. I feel like you've been you've completed you've risen to a recent challenge and you're very satisfied with results. Let's see what else we have here. I'm just going to be shuffling on screen. The 7 of Cups with the 4 of Swords. Yeah, you're really happy because I think that you finally have been able to carve some time for yourself, either time to be alone or time away from a job or away from some responsibilities. And this is going to give you a chance to not just rest and recuperate from a recent challenge, but also it gives you a chance to daydream, to really imagine multiple possibilities for yourself. And it's a much needed for you at this time. So let's get deeper. What is the message for you? What is it that you should know at this time? What's the message that your guides, that spirit, source, the divine, what would they like you to know right now? So we have the 3 of Swords here, and we have the 8 of Swords. Interesting, because I just had this combination earlier today, but the 8 of Swords and the 3 of Swords and the 8 of Swords, what this is looking like to me in regards to you is that it's like there is a grief process that you have sort of put on the back burner. There's something that you still need to grieve fully. You've certainly felt the grief up until this moment, but I feel like there is a separation or some kind of maybe a personal attack that someone made on you more recently that you compartmentalized, and now you're ready to, I see like it's an onion, it's like layers to it. I feel like now you're ready to sit with it and process it and unwrap these layers that are kind of that have been, it's like the bandaging, right? It's like you're ready to open take off the bandaging, because at first you had to respond with just like an immediate emergency response of stopping the bleeding, that type of thing. It's like you just had to kind of compartmentalize it and tell yourself, like, I'm gonna deal with this when I have the when I really have the time and the energy to deal with this, but right now I don't, right? So now that you have time to yourself, or you have time away from a job, it's just feels right for you to really reflect upon this hurt, this wound. And again, I'm not getting a clear sense if it is relationship, if it is a specific relationship, because I feel like even though this could be tied to a person, like, you know, you went through a breakup, or a friend, you had to end a friendship, even if there's a specific person tied to this, I feel like the wound itself goes deeper, because it's triggering something much more deeper, something maybe from an earlier time in your life. But either way, what I keep seeing is, you know, the bandaging that's coming off, because you actually want to see how is it healing. Like you actually have the curiosity, and you have the capacity right now to do this type of self-reflection. And it's interesting, I think that maybe, you know, you had this compartmentalized and you were sort of going through the motions, but I think you're going to be surprised to know that this wound of yours has healed a lot better than you think, and that you are much more resilient than you give yourself credit for. So I do think you're going to come through this temporary phase in your life right now, where you're on vacation mode, or you're just taking time off from work or responsibilities. This time in your life right now is going to surprise you with just how well you actually have been healing, and how much you have been thriving. Like, I think you're going to understand better how you've changed and adapted. See the Strength card. Isn't that awesome? Exactly, the Lion. And you see the infinity symbol there. It's like you have the power of regeneration. You have the power of, you know, recharging, right? It's like a power recharge. That's what I'm hearing. So let's see what else is the message for you, because with this Inner Peace card and the 2 koi fish, I do think there is a relationship that's on your mind these days. Okay, I just turned the deck over, and the King of Wands is at the bottom of the deck. So this could be a King of Wands type figure. This is someone who, you know, really brought a lot of excitement into your life, maybe a sense of adventure, someone who maybe was even like kind of a party animal, maybe someone who like took you out for dinner on the weekends and showed you a great time, or else, like, if it's not romantic, it could be even a friend or a colleague who seemed to always be the life of the party, like always had interesting things going on, and, you know, you really enjoyed being in their network. So I am getting a sense that there's a King of Wands figure in your life, or who has recently exited your life, if this is actually about a separation. We have the Nine of Pentacles here. Let me pull some more cards and let's see. This can get quite specific, so I'm going to try to make this as general as possible, but if I do get a very specific message, then, you know, I'll try to explain that as much as I can. Nine of Pentacles with the Devil. I don't know why I keep getting someone who actually had a great influence on your finances and really gave you a lot of like concrete advice on either finances or being independent, being maybe even career advice, you know, not necessarily a colleague or someone in your industry, but someone who like just had that ability to coach you in a way that was very beneficial for you. So we have the Nine of Pentacles, the Devil, and the Nine of Cups. Yeah, I am seeing you as a very independent person here. And I feel like this message is really about you, even if there is a recent breakup or, you know, again, a recent separation of some sort. I really think the message that your guides want you to get today is about you and how far you've come and how to use this time, you know, wisely, because this is a good time to do certain things in, to sort of complete certain, I don't think goal is the right word, but like objectives. There are certain objectives that you are now tying up, and you're completing the cycle on these things in your life. And that's where that inner peace is coming from, because it's like you're seeing the last mile. It's almost like you've ran this marathon, you've ran, you know, or you've been in the rat race, and you actually see a good time to leave the rat race, because you're seeing everything naturally come to a close. Like there's some closure here. With the devil and this tornado showing up, it's interesting because it's bookended by the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups, which are, you know, really about fulfillment and again, success. You know, these are two cards that represent wish fulfillment, happiness, having it all, you know. As an independent person, you know, maybe you're not necessarily married or married with kids, but like being someone who's, regardless of relationship status, just being someone who is very happy with yourself, happy, content, you know, content and proud of yourself, and just like, you know, you deserve to give yourself a pat on the back. I don't know what happened recently, but I think you really have worked very hard to get here. So let's pull some more cards. Excuse me. I'm gonna pull from this oracle deck actually, because I feel like there's something very specific I need to share, and this could help me. This could help us figure out the sign. Waterfall. Okay, so is that meaningful to you? Waterfall. Can I get a couple more cards actually? Let's get these two cards. Waterfall is interesting considering that we have this koi pond being depicted, and there's the Nine of Cups, Seven of Cups. Okay, we have the moth, and we have breath. Very interesting. And I still want to talk about this devil card here as well. Okay, really cool. I paused the video to look into these cards further. First of all, if this is your reading, you're getting a lot of signs and synchronicities lately. So I think that you have a developing intuition, and or you know, like let's say you've had intuition all your life, but it's like getting better now. There's a deepening of the gift, and you're getting a lot of signs. Now, the waterfall is interesting because I think what you're now seeing in your messages is that there's like a new purpose showing up. There's a new trajectory in your life showing up, and it's like you can't let go of these ideas. These ideas keep coming back to you, and I don't have specifics for that just yet. But there is a message here of just being receptive and just letting these ideas flow through your psyche, and don't get too attached to any of these ideas, and also be open to the inspirations, the new ideas. Be open to be open to the inspiration. Be open to letting these new dreams, you know, these new, you're dreaming up new things and letting them just kind of nurturing them, or like believing in them, because I think they're going to have a big, there's a big shift happening for you, but it's not happening super quickly. You're still in this phase of incubating the ideas, and it's a crucial point because it's both giving you a chance to reflect on the past and what your life has been about, up until now, as well as giving you a chance to detach from that past, detach from these things that were very important to you up until now. So as an example, you know, maybe there's a career shift happening, and maybe you have had a very successful career in one particular role. Just, I don't know why I'm getting professor, but maybe you've been a professor or a teacher for decades now, and it was a very fulfilling career for you, but you are starting to get a lot of signs that you're not meant to do this anymore. Like, there is a shift happening, and you do have another role being called to you. And instead of being afraid of that, right, like, you're getting these signs to really enjoy that uncertainty, enjoy being open to the new ideas, enjoy not having this this plan in place. You know, don't make the plan just yet. Just let the ideas flow and let that inspiration come to you, because there's definitely something really amazing like there's a calling, or there's an idea that is amazing and is trying to reach you, but you're still in this phase of being a bit overwhelmed right now. And again, I think it's because you are getting a lot of signs and synchronicities, so you know that can kind of make someone be overwhelmed and a bit fearful that, like, you know, I don't know what this means, or, you know, it's like who or what is trying to communicate to me. So I understand that. So the point is just let those ideas flow. You know, there's no single idea right now that is going to that needs to change everything for you. You're gonna know it when it comes, but right now you're still in that, you're still processing a lot. You're still processing the past, and that's all you have to focus on right now. So I hope that's clear, but I am going to pull some more cards and I'm going to try to get as specific as I can, because I feel like there's just one or two people that this message is supposed to reach, at least the specifics. And, you know, the more general message is definitely still applicable to a lot of you, but I feel like there is still something I'm trying to find out. Six of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. And the Chariot. Okay, and I think it does relate back to this Devil, so I'm trying to figure this out. One thing that's coming through is, you know, when I mentioned a relationship, I think it's like you've ended a relationship, or there's a relationship that actually ended quite a long time ago. It's not recent, but there's something there, that person was such an influence on your life that the person you became from knowing them is like, you know, you give them a lot of credit. Like, even if the relationship ended poorly, you feel like this person was a big reason why you are the person you are today. So, for example, maybe there was a coach, maybe there was an athletic coach, and as a young person, you just excelled in a certain sport, and this coach was very hard on you. They were, you know, they trained you well, but they also, like, you know, they were just quite hard on you. And so you don't have positive memories of this coach necessarily. And eventually, you know, you decided to never speak to this person again. So again, I'm getting very specific here, but it's also just an example. This can still apply to you if this resonates, right? So it's like this person is someone who kind of made your life hell for a while, and yet you can't deny that the time you spent with them were so it had such a big impact on you. And you also can't deny that the time you spent with them gave you advantages, right? So again, if it's a sport, you became an elite athlete, let's say, and you got a scholarship. Like, I'm just talking about examples of real outcomes here, right? So there's mixed feelings, because this is someone that may, you know, again, I don't see this as a warm and fuzzy feeling you get thinking about this person, but still Sorry for the noise, but still you know, you really credit them for being the person you are today. So let's fast forward to the now. This is now a chance to re-examine that whole phase in your life and all the feelings wrapped up in that, and to put to rest this idea that if it weren't for that person, you wouldn't be where you are today. That's just an idea, and it's an idea you can now dismantle, and you can take it apart, and you can frankly, you can put it to rest. You can bury it, because you have probably given this person too much credit, and you have devalued what you yourself accomplished for, you know. In other words, if you had a different coach, you probably would have succeeded just as much, you know, without the hard feelings, without, you know, the negative aspect to it, right? So it's like, if you had a coach who was less hard, who wasn't, I wouldn't say, I know it's tricky with coaching and that you got to give tough love sometimes, but what I'm trying to say is, like, let's say this was an abusive person. That abuse did not make you who you are. Your resilience, your strength, your ability to meet that challenge, that's what made you who you are. It's not the other person. And I think this is now a time for you to reflect on that, because again, that Three of Swords that came up in the beginning is, you know, it's a wound. It's a very deep wound, and I think it's like a wound that has been telling you that you're inferior, or, you know, you were born wrong, or with a, you know, somehow born defective. Yeah, that's the word that's coming through. It's like you've had a belief that you are defective, but you're not. You're absolutely not. And I think whatever's going on now, it's giving you a chance to heal that and put that to rest. That is a false belief that has been hurting you, and now you can let that heal. So again, I said a lot, and that's probably just very specific to one person, but if that resonates for you, I hope you can take this message and run with it. I also pulled these cards, the Chariot, the Six of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. So there's a very interesting message here about appreciating your body. That's what I'm getting here, is that, you know, there could be a health matter that has given you pause and has made you realize that, like, you don't need to be working yourself as hard as you've been. You can put some more balance into your life, take it easy, kind of downshift, you know, like instead of always being at high speed, you can downshift and treat your body with more gentleness. That's one message here too. So yeah, I'm getting overall that this is about, today's message for you, Pile 1, is about getting this opportunity away from some distractions and getting this chance to recover and restore your health and your well-being on multiple levels. One of the ways that you will feel restored is in realizing that you've been thinking about yourself as someone who really needs to be, you know, trained, someone who needs to be, someone who needs all this external kind of influence, you know, because you're somehow defective and like you need all the coaching, or you need the teacher, or the mentoring. But the truth is, you don't need all that, because you're not defective, and in fact you have intuition, you get messages, you have a knowing, okay? You have a knowing, and this is all going to start to make sense over the next, you know, few months, I would say. But instead of being a bit wary, be receptive, you know, just go with the flow and let these new ideas generate, let these new ideas come to you. And then anything you're not interested in, anything that's not meant for you, just let it go. But right now you are in a big stage of flowing, and that flow is about the transition from the past to the future. So instead of, you know, again, You don't have to plan anything. Now is a time of processing. Now is a time of even grieving the past, grieving what, you know, again, grief, you know, grief is not just something that happens when something really awful happens, like a death of a loved one. Grief happens all the time. Grief is just a part of life. We grieve old aspects of ourselves. We grieve, you know, even friendships that just grew apart, that we never had a chance to pick them up again. You know, these we recognize sometimes at different points in our lives what's been lost. You know, it's not always apparent when it's actually when the ending is happening. That's the point I'm trying to make, is that when things end, it's sometimes not clear to us that that ending has occurred. So now you have a moment to actually honor, you know, the aspects of your life that are coming to an end or have already come to an end, and now you have the capacity to grieve them. So that's a big message for you, Bio One. I know that's a lot, but I really appreciate you being here, and I wish you the best in this whole lovely, wonderful healing process and spiritual process that you're undergoing. Take care, Pile 1. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. You selected this card, Delight, which shows a cute little bird. I'm not really good with bird identification, but I think it's a sparrow. To me, it just seems like a warbler, right? Or songbird, maybe. But it's in a lovely little field filled with grass and flowers. So I'm getting a message here about summertime. I think you might be looking forward to something happening in the summer, a trip, or even, you know what? I'm not getting travel. I'm getting something. I guess I should pull some cards here, but there's something happening this summertime. It's not necessarily travel or vacation, but it's something that maybe even you do this every year, and you know, it is seasonal, so you're not able to do it the rest of the year, and that's why it's always such a great time for you, and you always look so much, you know, you look forward to it so much. But that can be quite specific, so let's just put that aside and let's pull some cards for you. Either way, Pile 2, I think you are looking forward to something, and summertime or the next few months, because right now it is late March. So if I'm thinking about the summer, whenever you do watch this video, it seems to be something a few months from now, okay, that you're looking forward to. We have the Temperance card, lovely. We have the 8 of Wands, wow. Okay, I'll take these 2 cards, and then we also have here the Princess, otherwise known as the Page of Pentacles. And we have the Prince of Pentacles, so the Knight of Pentacles. Interesting. Definitely, I feel like you're definitely excited about learning and applying some skills here. So I think the summertime gives you, again, I should stop saying summertime, but I do think there's like a time of year where you really have an opportunity to level up a certain skill set. The Temperance and the 8 of Wands, you're very close to mastering this skill, and it's you know what it is, it's like you've been learning something and applying yourself, but again, you can only learn so much the rest of the year. There's like one time a year when you really get to apply the skills, and it's a training, you know, it's a challenge, but it's like a challenge that excites you. And this is the year when you feel like it's like something has clicked. This is the year when you feel like, oh my gosh, this is a whole new level. I had no idea I was capable of this. Like, you really surprise yourself by how much you've transformed and evolved in this particular skill set. So again, I'm going to say, I don't know why, but I keep thinking about something on the boat. It's interesting because I got these pentacle cards, but I keep thinking of someone who's like, you know, it's because that example is like being being on a sailboat. You know, where you can't really do that year round in most places, right? Like, maybe you do an annual sailing trip, or maybe you visit family and it's the only chance you get because it's where they live. Like, you're able to get on the water. Like, it's that type of thing, right? But every time you do this, you get better at it, and that's what's exciting to you, because it really gives you it's like a high intensity challenge that you like, because you always learn so much, and you always like gain you always get so much better at it every time you get to try this challenge. Now, I feel like that is super specific, so I'm gonna pull back a bit and I'm gonna try to see what the other messages are for those of you who are really not resonating with the idea that there's like a seasonal thing here. I think with the Delight card, you picked it because in general, there's like a pulling back from, I want to say, there's like priorities getting lined up here. And also feedback. There's like a feedback loop. And so you're getting some really constructive feedback right now that's helping you make decisions and helping you plan and strategize on a specific goal. Okay, so let me start there. So to reiterate, for those of you who picked pile 2, I think all of you are very goal-oriented at this time, and yet you're at a point in your project where you really see results, you really see positive results. So that's where this delight is coming from. And it's like, instead of feeling like, oh, I can rest easy, I can coast, like this is all going to work out, instead of feeling like you can slow down, you're now feeling like you can level up. Like you're feeling excited that you can scale up, or that you can that your efforts are going to go further. Okay, so that's where the excitement is right now. And that Temperance card is about this personal transformation, because you've been, you know, you've been changing all this time. You've been evolving, you've been getting better this whole time, but the changes were very subtle, and they weren't visible. They weren't super apparent, super visible. Here's another example. This could apply to you if you started working out and you started a new health program, and you know, maybe new diet changes, workout changes, exercise changes, etc. Maybe you've implemented a new plan, and you know, it was difficult. It was definitely difficult to change habits and try something new, but you were very motivated and determined. And this is the time now that you are really seeing those results, and it's really making you happy. And that's where that delight is coming, because you realize, like, oh my gosh, like this really works, you know, like I can just keep doing this, I can keep going this direction, and it's fulfilling to you. It just makes you happy. That 8 of Wands, it's like that alignment, you know, like things are really gearing up is also what I'm hearing. So I want to get some more. What is the message for pile 2? What is the advice? See, Knight of Pentacles again. Yeah, strong confirmation. Knight of Pentacles. So you're dedicated to something here, and you've even made sacrifices to accomplish this goal. But you know, you are in your zone and you're in your element here, and whatever this long-term goal is, whatever has required patience and discipline and dedication, it is definitely I think your guides want you to know it's going to be successful. And you know, just having that assurance that it's going to work out and you're going to be successful, maybe that will give you a chance to, you know, give yourself a break sometime here. Like just take a day off, take a couple days off, get your mind off it, There's no need to overwork yourself, right? So this could also be a message again that everything's going to work out, so there's no need to stress it or overwork yourself. Delight is coming up, right? That's a day off. That's a day outside. That's a day at the beach. That's a day with friends. Three of Wands. Wow. Again, like big, big, big return on investment, right? Like anticipation is showing up here in this card. Excitement for the results. Again, you're going to get some very it's like metrics, constructive feedback. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe it's a doctor's appointment. Maybe you're going to go to the doctor and the doctor's going to be like, great bill of health. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't be giving medical advice, but yeah, like it's like you're going to get news, or you're going to realize, you know, that you are achieving more than you had even hoped for. Okay. Wow. The Emperor? I mean, what is going on here with you, pile two? Two of Pentacles. So, just to clarify, like, this doesn't have to be health related. This could be work related. This could be money related. This could be about finances, right? So, you could have changed your budget and really done some cost cutting measures in recent months or recent weeks, and you know, you were saving every dime, saving every penny, and you're squirreling it away. And the good news is now you're looking at your bank account and you're realizing that, like, you know, whatever you invested in, it did well, and you're just like, whoa, like, I had no idea it would do that well. But see, you put in the time, you put in the investment, you put in the effort, you did your research, you did your due diligence. So what's going on now is that delight in seeing those results, okay, of that success. And I feel like the success is still early signs of success. It's not like, oh wow, I can cash out and retire, right? It's not. I don't think you should be expecting some huge over the top outcome here, because this is all predictable. It's still something that you predicted. It's something you hoped for. It's just giving you this confirmation that what you're doing is correct, that what you're doing is on the right path. Now with the Emperor and the Two of Pentacles, I am getting something here. There's a message here about this is interesting. This is very interesting. I feel like what you are going to come across soon, there's some kind of support the universe is sending you. It could be in the form of a person, like someone who is very supportive of you. Could be a financial supporter. It could be an employer, but someone who you feel like is like, you really admire them, and they have achieved what you hope to achieve. They're showing up here, and with the Two of Pentacles, I think they're making an offer here. They're giving you a choice about something, or they're even just showing you that you have wiggle room on something, like you have a better margin of success. I don't know financial speak, but like there's an interesting news coming in. I think I'll just leave it at that. So let me go ahead and pull some more cards, pile two. Overall, I'm getting, you know, a message from your guides that all the changes you had hoped for, all the growth and the improvement, the self-improvement you had been working on and hoping for in recent times, it is now very clearly showing up for you, and that's really good news. And it's good news because it's telling you that you've been doing the right thing. You've chosen the right program, or you've chosen the right regimen, and your discipline and your hard work are paying off. So that's really awesome to get that. I'm just gonna go with the flow here and just get the messages. I'm just gonna share the messages as they come. We have weight of truth. Wow, laughing and crying. Alchemy, yeah, that relates to the Temperance card. And everything you need too soon. Whoa. Everything you need too soon. Yeah, I see here almost like a delirium, and you know that goes back to delight. It's like there's this delirious joy because you have been. I think you've been really worried up until this point. Like I don't know. It seems like you've been working so hard, almost out of fear. It's like, you know, let's say the reason why you're on this health regimen is because you had a close call. You know, it could have been that, you know, you really had a life and death situation in your life related to your health, and then the doctor kind of told you what's up, and you're like, you know what, I'm changing everything, I'm working. And so it's like up until this time you've been like fearful, you know, and so you've been, you know, again with the health analogy, it's like you've been very painstakingly trying to work hard to get this positive outcome, and then the results come in and it's just like, what? It's so much better than you thought. You know, it's just like, it's relief. And that weight of truth is showing that, you know, you've really been worried at times, but with alchemy, okay, this is a transformation where you are no longer going back. Like you're in a new phase, you are in a new mode, and the changes are permanent. Okay, everything you need too soon. Yeah, it's like it can be overwhelming to realize that all these good things can happen to you. All, you know, this success, it's like you're not used to this success. You're not used to having something work out in your favor, but it's happening, so get used to it. Okay, pile 2. What else? I just want to see, what can we tell you specifically? Oh, humility. Okay, the sun shining down on a flock of sheep. Yes, I mean, I would say you're a humble person just from the 2 Knight of Pentacles. Potential, yes. Look at that. It's a little, you see how this little sprout has this incredible root base? So it's showing, again, that you've been, you know, all the changes happening for you have been under the surface, and now you're seeing the sprout, right? You're just beginning to see these outer changes, and the, you know, maybe the world around you is beginning to see the outer changes, but those changes are deep because they've been occurring for some time now. And that's what alchemy is. It's like you are in, you know, you're a new creation, right? Like you're a whole new kind of being here with that, with those roots going down there. It's like the seed that you planted is thriving now, and that potential, this being a card of potential, is showing that you are going to fulfill your potential. You're well on your way. All you have to do with this humility card, this is all about just, you know, staying on that track, like recognizing that, you know, with humility, it's like recognizing that none of us are perfect, and you know, every great thing in life requires effort. It requires work. I don't even want to use the word work. It requires effort. It requires energy, investment, time, right? But when you enjoy the effort, when you enjoy actually putting in time and effort, then that's where, you know, rubber hits the road. That's the magic, is when you actually enjoy what you're doing to improve the situation and to improve yourself. So it can be, you know, even though it can be, it can require discipline, it can require, you know, just a lot of labor, it's still very worthwhile, right? What else can we find out for pile 2? Passage, yes, that's lovely. So your passage is blessed. You know, you are, safe passage is what I'm getting from that. Spiritual guidance. Okay, interesting. I love that. The feather there, going back to the bird. So I do think, again, there's a figure in your life or coming into in your life, and you really admire this person, and they're going to give you some kind of opportunity or something that just makes the road easier for you, I want to say. And you know, spiritual guidance, it's like you admire them because you feel like there's someone who didn't compromise their character, someone with very good character, very strong character, strong integrity. They accomplished what they accomplished because they really put in the time. And you know, they didn't take any shortcuts. Okay, that's why you admire them. And the spiritual guidance is showing up because they do come in as a sort of a mentor. But yeah, pile 2, I think that's about it. I'm just gonna pull a few more cards as last messages. Let's just get some advice. Can we get as specific as advice as possible for pile 2? Clearly they are working on something really important to them. The Ace of Swords, yeah. See how the Ace of Swords comes out right after spiritual guidance? Again, communication, message, answers. I don't know why I pulled this. You know, I reached for this deck and I didn't really mean to, but we got the flexibility card. I'm going to put it right here. Flexibility. So advice again, you know, you might have been working very hard in a certain way. Just remind yourself, you know, there are going to be moments when you got to pay attention to your body or your health, your mental health. Like maybe you need one day off, maybe you need a weekend off, but flexibility just goes to show that, you know, it's okay to change tactics. It's okay to adjust and revise what you're doing in response to that feedback, right? So, you know, trusting your intuition, don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt your own body. Don't doubt your own inner wisdom here. But flexibility, meaning also with that Two of Pentacles, meaning that you are going to get an opportunity to consider, and it's going to look very inviting to you. So maybe, you know, with a little bit of adjustment or flexibility, you'll find that this takes you to yet another new level of success here. You know, if it's to do with finances, right? It's like the flexibility of changing your investments, or the flexibility of having some money readily available to invest in maybe a new business. Okay, so flexibility showing up as advice. Advice. This is your advice. B. I love that. You know, the B, it really represents how, with the work that we do every day, it's like we do daily incremental efforts, and it creates something amazing, you know, over time. So it's about having that patience and diligence, right? Let me take a look at the guidebook for this one. Exactly. Sustained focus, joyful effort, bold breakthroughs. Hold a boundary that protects the momentum toward your vision. Yeah, momentum is a great word here. Oh my gosh, this is exactly what I was talking about. Often our life's momentum originates from the harsh push of our fears rather than the magnetic pull of our dreams. When this happens, we succumb to our collective histories of limitation. B says that this is your time to express healthy defiance. Streamline your behavior to reflect where you're going, not where you've been. Sip sweetness from the flowers that speak directly to your heart rather than the ones you are drawn to by habit. And like B, you will magically you will be magically upheld on a trajectory to success. Yeah, so that's a really great last message here, and it's tying up some things together here. So pile 2, to summarize, you know, you've gotten some very critical feedback in recent weeks or months, and you have taken that feedback and you've done a lot of work on yourself to improve your situation. The message today is that you're on track, and this is a great, you know, you're doing great, and your guides want to encourage you to keep it up. Your guides also want to encourage you that there is some flexibility needed. you have great things coming your way. You have some great mentorship opportunities or some kind of financial or career opportunity coming your way. But, you know, there's guidance coming into your life in the form of another person or other people. And that guidance is going to be important for you. So be flexible to take in that guidance and consider that guidance and consider some adjustments. With the Knight of Pentacles showing up twice, you know, you are also being shown to be someone who might be a little bit, can maybe at times be a bit of too rigid or too hard on yourself, or you know, maybe just, you know, a little bit stubborn and fixated, and that's really great in some ways. And then in other ways, you need to just tone that down a bit, because you don't want to be too hard on your body. For one, you want to make sure you have a good balance in what you're doing. You give yourself time to rest. You know, give yourself time to recover every once in a while. Give yourself time with friends, you know, again. So it's like there are messages coming to you. There's guidance. There's constructive feedback coming to you. There's going to be some results that are going to make you really happy. And overall, just, you know, keep going and you know, adjust for some new opportunities. Have the flexibility to take advantage of new opportunities, but definitely keep doing this path of self-improvement you're on. You have all this potential, and you're well on your way to meeting and fulfilling that potential. So Pile 2, thank you so much for being here. Take care, and I'll see you at the next reading. Hello Pile 3, welcome to your reading. You selected the Abundance card. I'm just going to say real quick here that this is an interesting reading, because I had to take a few days in the making of this video. So I had to take a few days after the last reading to get to yours, and I think there's definitely a message in that. But it's, you know, everything else in my life that has been happening parallel to this is, you know, pointing to this message that where you are at this point with abundance, it's because you've been so patient, and it's also because you've been so, you've been faithful, you've been optimistic, you've trusted. And so this is, I feel like this is going to be, you know, truly a message about kind of everything you have to look forward to, because, you know, it's like you've turned a corner, and you've, I actually just got this image. It's like you've been driving up this hill, you know, not seeing anything in sight other than the road, but then you crested the top of the hill, and it just takes you to this beautiful view now. So now you're moving along, but now you're seeing everything before you, and it's, you know, it's just amazing. It's majestic. It's this gorgeous view where you can see all the hills and valleys that are, you know, fertile and abundant and flowering and beautiful. And so I think this is a message about, you know, that exhilarating moment. So if that resonates with you, this is definitely your message. Thanks so much for being here, Pile 3. So I haven't shuffled or selected cards yet. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. What is the message for Pile 3? What can we tell Pile 3 at this time? What does Pile 3 need to know? This card. Okay, I'm going to start with this deck. Alrighty, yeah, definitely a lot of messages coming through, I can already tell. We have the Seven of Pentacles here. the Eight of Cups, the Four of Wands, and the Star. I love that. So the first message I'm getting, pile 3, is, you know, this is this is definitely the Seven of Pentacles. This is definitely you taking a look at what you've, I feel like this is the past. It's describing you having evaluated where you were, evaluating results, and being very practical and pragmatic, and making a really important decision to leave something here, to let go of something. Not necessarily leaving, not necessarily like giving up, but, you know, there's a saying, I believe it's writers who say, like, kill your babies. Well, what that means is that in the creative process, excuse me, I just need to clear my throat. Okay, so what I mean by that is that you had a whole creative process where you tested new things and you experimented and you were very playful and you really enjoyed yourself. But then there came a time when you realized, okay, I have to just move forward with what's viable. And even though I had such a great time making these creations, or, you know, inventing this or working on this project, even though it really brought out a lot of playful energy for me, I have to accept that it's like a point of diminishing returns. I have to accept that I can't sustain this project anymore. So you had a whole bunch of stuff ahead of you. You had priorities that you were examining, and then you decided, let me let go of these babies, right? That, you know, I love them, and I love, you know, I love what I created here, or I love the work I did here, but I have to accept that it can't continue. And you did this in a way that was very integrated or mature. Like, you didn't do this with a sense of despondency or despair. You did this with a sense of sort of someone, you know, realizing they're growing up and knowing that there's going to be amazing things for you. And so instead of it being like, I'm going to say no to this, you really did this in the sense of, I'm going to say yes to this new thing. I'm going to say yes to this new priority or this new project, this new idea that will help me grow, will help me evolve, will help me move on to this next phase in life. And that's why the Star is showing up here. And that's why the Four of Wands is also showing up here, because the Four of Wands can show an award or a milestone achieved, like let's say you graduated from a program. That can be the Four of Wands. It's a sense of momentousness. It's a sense of, you know, stability, because things are going well. So that's why I don't see this as something that was really making you that upset, although you did have to take a moment to just, you know, mourn, I guess. Like, you did have a moment where you're very sentimental and you're like, you know, I'm gonna miss doing this, or I'm gonna miss, you know, working on that, or I'm gonna miss all that time spent that I could just spend kind of, you know, letting my creative juices flow. Like, you know, you were definitely recognizing how important the past is to you, but you made this very mature step to let go of it so that you can make room for something new and something that is more of a higher purpose for you. So, given all that, let's see what the other cards have to say. We have fire here. Looks like a campfire. Interesting. We have the High Priestess. Wow. We have the King of Wands. Yeah, right here below the Four of Wands. That's beautiful. And we have the Ace of Swords. Yes. So I do feel like this is not just an affirmation of what I just said. It's also kind of giving some more nuance to what I just said. So let's go ahead and turn over these cards. We have Thunderbolt, which is really cool. And we have Eagle. Wow. Yes. And look at that. I just put Eagle next to the Star. So the Eagle soars high, right? And the Eagle gives you the high perspective. The Thunderbolt with the Ace of Swords. Talk about an idea that is just, you know, brilliant, right? This is an idea. This is a course of action, a decision that influences everything. It changes everything. The High Priestess with the King of Wands. This is, you know, again, you really tuned in here. You really were making this mature decision, but making a decision based on all your wisdom and everything you know. You really sense that there's something bigger going on here, and you want to be part of that bigger process. In other words, you didn't want to play small anymore. And so even though you had fun in the past, you also recognize that too much fun could mean, you know, being stuck in a rut, right? Could mean being complacent, and you don't want that for yourself. So I see you as this King of Wands who's, you know, really taking you're really directing a lot in your life right now, and you're in a moment of authority. You're in a moment of confidence in what you do. And again, with the Ace of Swords and the Thunderbolt, right? You're generating so many great ideas and great plans, and people are really paying attention to you. Okay, so that's how I see you. The High Priestess, this is showing that, you know, with the fire, it's interesting. I think that you know, you might even be somebody who works in the realm of business or finance, because I'm feeling like you are paying attention to shifts and trends, and you want to be in a position where you can really strike while the iron is hot. That's what I'm hearing. The High Priestess is, you know, the mystery. It's something veiled. So you're aware that you can't know everything, and this is what's important. You need to be in a position of humility here rather than hubris, because you know, you want to be careful that you don't misread trends, right? And that's totally possible when you have such a when you're too attached to a certain outcome. You know, so this is a message about paying attention to signs, but not being mistaken for thinking that you're influencing trends. Okay, there's a difference there. Knowing the trends and paying attention to the trends is different from influencing the trends. And it's people who are too confident in thinking that they influence the future, they're the ones who can make grave mistakes. So I do think that's some word of wisdom here for you with the fire. See, this is the thing, the fire, right? You have to nurture a fire, and you have to make sure a fire has a controlled burn. You don't want a fire to get out of control and ruin everything. So I feel like that is definitely where you are in your life, where you are, you know, you've made a decision, you're on a certain course that is going to give you a tremendous growth, but you're really trying to be wise about it. You're trying to learn from past mistakes and not get too over eager or too overconfident here. So yeah, that's a lot. Wow. Pile 3, if this is all resonating for you, I hope this is helpful for you. But let me try to get now more specific advice. We have the Queen of Pentacles, yes. So abundance for sure. Wow, we have the 9 of Pentacles. This is success. This is just like material success. This is success that you can count, okay? This is about success in money. Wow. Pile 3. The star on the star. What is that? Look at that. The star right on top of the star. So, wow. Pile 3. Big, big, big message here. So we pulled the Queen of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles and the star. So there's a lot here. I think first message is definitely abundance, right? Abundance for sure. You're going to be swimming. I don't know why I heard that, but you know, you're going to cash cow. I just heard that. Okay, this is crazy. Like, this might be just a message for one person, but I think there's someone or a couple of people here who are actually going to strike it pretty rich in some kind of line of work you do or some kind of investment you have. It's going to be incredibly profitable. However, right, we've got the Queen of Pentacles here. So this isn't somebody who counts her chickens before they hatch. This is somebody who's steadfast, diligent, patient, okay? This is someone who knows that everything happens in cycles, okay? So the growth cycle always, every cycle of fertility and abundance always comes before a cycle of scarcity and lack. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually about riding those cycles successfully that helps you thrive. So the advice here is to recognize that in times of plenty, you should be storing away savings or reserves, or you should have stuff put aside precisely for the hard times. So don't get too comfortable in the abundance that is coming your way. Definitely put it to work. Put it to work towards a higher purpose. We see that with the star twice now. So you have a very strong calling here, or a very strong dream, a vision, an ideal. There's something that is really motivating you. It's motivating you to be your best self. And it could be a very spiritual purpose. It could be a very principle guiding you, okay? But the important message here is that right, is that you stay aligned and you keep walking that high road. It's about just keeping your eyes forward, and don't worry about the stumbling blocks. Like, there's going to be bends in the road. This is all just stuff I'm channeling and seeing. There's going to be bends in the road. There's going to be moments when, you're a bit doubtful, but don't worry about that. Just keep your eye on the ball, keep moving forward. And even if it has to be 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, even if it has to be like a little bit of give and take here, you're still moving forward on something much bigger and better in your life. So that's amazing. I actually just got a message for someone with if this is a health reading for you. So, I've been talking about like finance or business or more career stuff, but if this is a health issue for you, then the reading still applies, and you can translate it to a health issue. So I'll start from the beginning of this. If you have a health matter or health concern, I see it as, you've had a run of success where you like really saw great outcomes and you had a great time doing it. You had a positive time, establishing new health practices. But then you had a moment where you had to reevaluate, like, okay, I can't keep doing that. For example, like, let's say there was an expensive meal program and, you had your meals delivered to you, and that really helped you like get on track with, a dietary issue, right? So that was really useful for you. You had a great time. You loved that meal program so much, but then you realize, like, okay, this isn't sustainable. This is going to cost me this much money. And it was a great convenience for the time it lasted, but I have to accept that I can't sustain this going on. So you made a wise, mature choice to end the meal program, but with the new excitement for cooking, because now you're seeing, you know what, I know I can eat nutritious food. Now I want to learn how to cook nutritious food. So you're saying yes to that growth. You're saying yes to taking on a new skill. And that yes is what's also helping you achieve a very important dream here, which is that health, right? It's feeling vibrant. It's feeling like your best physical self. So you see how it all lines up with the cards that I pulled. So, it's about both balancing the great vision and balancing that excitement with the practical steps and the patience needed, okay? You understand this now. Not everything is achieved overnight. It takes time. And so that's why it takes a really strong belief in what you're doing. It takes that to motivate you through the slow and the incremental steps, the baby steps, okay? So pile 3, I think this is probably a lot that you already know, but you needed to hear it from an outside source, that you're on the right track, and what you're about to accomplish, what you are accomplishing is absolutely amazing. We have the Empress and we have the 3 of Pentacles. Okay, pile 3. So your last message, 3 and 3, and your pile 3. So really a strong emphasis on 3. That might be a number for you that's important. But with the Empress and the 3 of Pentacles together, right? This is again about growth, and it's also about partnership and commitment. So, by committing to the steps you're taking, you're building something. Again, you're building something bigger and better. And there could even be a collaborator involved. There could be a partner involved who's supportive of you. But with the Empress, right, again, abundance. What you are now, this stage you're in, this phase you're in, this abundant phase you're in, this is a time to really think about new, things you might have put on the back burner and now you can bring to the forefront. This is about taking that energy of growth and abundance and seeing what can you invest in further. What has, when you look at your priorities, what aligns with your priorities that you now have the capacity for, right? The resources for, whether that's time, energy, money. What can you invest in now? Because that Queen of Pentacles sees the full picture. She sees the bigger picture of, when something has this surplus or extra, it should funnel into the parts of your life that are a bit lacking or have a little bit less, right? So it's all about balancing those resources, balancing energy and time and assets, all for a greater good. Okay, pile 3, that's your message. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your energy, and I really wish you the best. And congratulations. It's a beautiful milestone you've achieved, and I'm really looking forward to hearing from you if you want to share like what you've been working on. So take care, pile 3. Bye now.